long after the last trains had rumbled through and the station had emptied of commuters. A strange stillness settled over Aldgate Underground Station. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was heavy, as if something ancient and unsatisfied lingered beneath the clatter of modern life. In the early hours of a January morning in 1983, two maintenance workers descended into the tunnels for routine track inspection. The platform lights flickered as they moved deeper into the bowels of the station, flashlights casting sharp beams against the tiled walls. Beneath their feet, the ground groaned faintly, the sort of noise workers had long stopped questioning. But that night, things were different. The men had almost reached the junction near the eastbound Circle Line track when one of them, a seasoned worker named Peter, stumbled and stopped. He looked suddenly pale and startled, glancing behind him into the darkness. "Did you feel that?" he asked, his voice low. His partner, a younger man named Dave, shook his head. "What?" "A hand," Peter muttered. "Someone just touched me. On the shoulder, there was no one there." Moments later, before Dave could respond, Peter's knees buckled. He collapsed forward onto the track bed, face down. Panic surged through Dave as he scrambled to pull him clear, but it was too late. Peter was already gone. A post-mortem later declared natural causes, heart failure. But Dave insisted it wasn't just sudden illness. He swore he'd seen Peter flinch and twist as if recoiling from an invisible grip. Word spread fast through the underground network. Other staff began reporting odd occurrences around Aldgate Station. Tools that vanished and reappeared, sudden icy gusts of wind in sealed-off maintenance corridors, and shadowy figures darting just beyond the edge of light. At least one driver reported seeing a pale face looking out from the tunnel wall just past the platform, where there should have been nothing but brick. When the Evening Standard published a brief article on Peter's death and Dave's account of the ghostly touch, the local folklore was reignited. Older station staff weren't surprised. They knew what lay beneath Aldgate. The station had been built directly over one of London's largest plague pits, where thousands of victims of the 1665 Great Plague had been hastily buried. Historical records confirmed it. This ground was never truly consecrated, and the bodies had been packed in deep, layer upon layer, beneath what eventually became modern streets and infrastructure. No memorials stood above them. No proper rites had been performed, and in the spiritual imagination of those who believed in such things, this neglect was a wound, one that never healed. Over the decades, the area earned a reputation among London underground workers. Ghost hunters and urban explorers called it the Dead Zone. Cold spots were common. Power fluctuations plagued the station. Surveillance equipment would glitch without cause, only to return to normal seconds later. Sometimes, in the small hours between the last train and the first, workers would report hearing whispers, barely audible, just on the edge of understanding. Some said they heard coughing or the raspy breathing of a dying man. The most chilling detail: a few engineers claimed to have seen a single figure standing motionless near the edge of the tracks, wearing clothes not from this century. When approached, the figure would simply vanish. The only sign it had ever been there was a sudden drop in temperature and the smell of old, damp cloth. Today, Aldgate is just another stop on a bustling line passed by thousands daily. Tourists and commuters step onto the platform unaware of the mass grave beneath their feet, and the possibility that just beyond the edge of the platform light, someone might still be standing there, watching, waiting for a moment to reach out once more. Love-chilling tales from beneath London's streets. If this ghost story sent a shiver down your spine, Don't forget to like this video if you believe the underground holds more than just commuters. Subscribe for more haunted history, eerie legends, and true ghost encounters across Britain. Comment below if you ever had a strange experience on the London Underground.